Civil rights attorneys have filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration. The lawsuit aims to stop the transfer of migrants to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
This legal action is the latest development in a growing controversy. The Trump administration's decision to use Guantanamo to house migrants has sparked outrage and concern.
Critics argue that it is inhumane and illegal to detain migrants at the notorious detention facility. The lawsuit centers on the cases of 10 migrants. These migrants are currently detained in the United States.
The Trump administration plans to transfer them to Guantanamo. The lawsuit argues that transferring these migrants to Guantanamo would violate their due process rights.
The lawsuit also claims that the transfers would violate federal immigration law.
This legal challenge highlights the complex issues surrounding immigration and detention.
It raises questions about the limits of executive power and the treatment of detainees. The outcome of this lawsuit could have far-reaching implications for the future of Guantanamo Bay.
Disturbing allegations have emerged from Guantanamo Bay.
Former detainees have come forward with accounts of mistreatment.
These allegations paint a grim picture of life inside the detention center. Detainees described being subjected to harsh conditions and abuse.
One former detainee described Guantanamo as a living hell. The allegations include reports of inadequate medical care. Detainees also report being deprived of sufficient food.
Some detainees say they were subjected to physical abuse.
Others describe experiencing verbal harassment. The use of solitary confinement as a punishment has also been reported.
These allegations have raised serious concerns about the treatment of migrants at Guantanamo.
Human rights groups have condemned the conditions at the detention center. They call for a thorough investigation into the allegations of abuse.
The Department of Homeland Security has defended its practices.
They maintain that detainees are treated humanely. Guantanamo Bay has a long and controversial history. The U.S. has leased the land from Cuba since 1903. It has been used as a naval base for decades. In 2002, Guantanamo gained notoriety as a detention facility. It became the primary location for holding suspected terrorists after the 9/11 attacks.
The detention center at Guantanamo has been widely criticized. Human rights groups have denounced the indefinite detention of prisoners without trial. The use of torture and other forms of ill treatment has also drawn international condemnation. The Obama administration pledged to close the detention center.
However, they faced significant political obstacles.
The Trump administration reversed course on Guantanamo. They announced plans to keep the detention center open. The administration also explored the possibility of transferring migrants to Guantanamo. This decision reignited the controversy surrounding the facility. Critics argue that using Guantanamo to detain migrants is a betrayal of American values.
The lawsuit against the Trump administration raises important legal questions. At the heart of the case is the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment guarantees due process of law. The lawsuit argues that transferring migrants to Guantanamo would violate this right. The lawsuit also cites federal immigration law.
It claims that the government has failed to follow proper procedures for detaining and transferring migrants.
The lawsuit challenges the legality of detaining migrants at Guantanamo.
It argues that the facility is not an appropriate location for holding civilians. The outcome of this lawsuit remains uncertain.
However, it highlights the ongoing debate over immigration and detention in the United States. The case has drawn attention to the plight of migrants.
It has also renewed scrutiny of Guantanamo Bay and its legacy.